Hi, Goddess of Awesome here, and I wanted to address something that I had been complaining about in some previous videos. Was about my mom dropping off my brother in my neighborhood to be homeless on my street, you know. It was very annoying to me. It was very hurtful of my heart to have to see him, especially during the rainy season, you know. I have such a big heart. I honestly love my brother so much, you know. We've had some messed up childhood history, but I've worked through a lot of that. You know, there's probably still layers to work through, but I have resolved a lot of those issues on my own, in my own self, you know. So I would say I'm whole when it comes to my childhood. I would call that my little life, you know. Like, when it comes to my little life, I've healed a lot of things. You know, there's a lot of things for me to yet heal, right? I'm 39 years old right now. I've been in the sex industry for 21 years. I absolutely am right now working on healing my finances. You know, it's not happening overnight, but I am every single day taking action towards my goals. You know, I see the path. I don't know why it took me until the beginning of this year to truly see it. I can see the stepping stones. I can see how they all connect. I can see the path. It's almost like a board game. I can see it. I can see the ending. I see it. That's beautiful. I couldn't see it before. I don't know why. So there's light at the end of my tunnel. And I have my eye on the prize, and I've let go of my earthly pleasures, right? Today is 6 weeks of no marijuana. Good job, girl. Sometimes you gotta pat yourself on your back. You gotta pat your own back sometimes when there's nobody there to pat your back for you. It's okay. It's okay to do that. You can be your own cheerleader. You can be your own coach, your own life coach. If no one else is in your corner, you got to be in your corner. Even if people are in your corner, you got to be in your own corner. You know, you got to monitor how you think, the thoughts that you would permit yourself to think. You got to monitor those sometimes. My mom would call it being a policeman of your own mind. You can't allow yourself to talk down to yourself unless you want to really be down, you know. So there's always reasons to, you know, there's times when it's appropriate to pat yourself on the back, you know. So anyways, I had a great class today. Love all my classmates so much. I love them so much. I don't know if they'll ever know how much I love them. But hopefully, you know, they know. I try to make it evident by addressing them, by each and every one of them by their name and saying hello when I can, you know. So out of class today, I seen my brother. You know, he's blocks away from my house. I wondered where he went. My mom had this crappy car parked on the street for a while in the rain, and she had a for sale sign in it. But when the rainy season came, you know, I noticed my brother was kicking it in there, which was actually kind of good. You know, I was wondering where was he? You know, I know he's nearby. How is he dealing with the rain? You know, he doesn't have a roof over his head. Where is he, in the mountains? Is he in a cave? Are there caves around here? I have no idea. You know, so, you know, my brother looks like a homeless person because he is, you know. He's got a full beard happening, and, you know, we're part Native American. He looks it more than I, and I look it a little more than my sister. Like, we kind of came out like toast, you know, like he's dark, I'm medium, she's light, and then we have the fairest of them all, who's not part Native American. She's actually a quarter Japanese, so she's got the porcelain, milky white skin. So we truly did come out like toast, you know. So my brother's a little darker than me, and you might think he's all sorts of different ethnic backgrounds just to look at him. There's probably a lot of ethnic backgrounds that could claim him. But we're Native American, we're Creek Nation. So Creek Nation, English, Irish, and German, that's what makes us up. We might have a teeny bit of Dane in our blood, and I believe my mom said we have a dash of Danish. But so I seen my brother. So I get out of the gym parking lot. I'm cruising home. I have every intention on maybe sneaking in a horse ride Because if I don't get it done early, it's probably not going to happen. Like, no ride today. I didn't get to have a ride today because I used that time up already. And hopefully tonight. Maybe I'll be able to go tonight, you know. I have a big dog who keeps begging me to take her. So, for my own personal reasons and for the dog, I kind of got to go. And for the horse, you know. So when I pulled out of the parking lot, I looked to the right and I seen this homeless person digging through the trash can. You know, they were holding a big black trash bag. And when I looked in close enough, I realized that was my brother. You know, which was a true blessing to see him because I wondered where he went. I wondered how he was doing. You know, my niece just came over a few days ago. I got some Lunchables just in case she had a snack and she needed a snack, and they had meat in it. I don't eat meat. You know, I don't know what to do with them. I don't know if you can put that in the freezer. I don't know how that would, I don't know, you know. So I thought yesterday, God, I wish I knew where my brother was. I'd take him these Lunchables and a quart of milk. My niece never touched the milk. But I had it on hand just in case she wanted cereal, you know. So I put it in the freezer yesterday, the milk. Last night I put it in. Because I just didn't know, you know. So when I seen my brother, I thought, oh my God, that's so cool. You know, there he is. So I just got out of the parking lot. I just drove a second. I see my brother. I'm like, oh my God. So then I pull right back into the parking lot because it's a big shopping center parking lot. And I honked my horn, but I don't think he really knew it was me. And then so there was like a bank or something. So I went around the bank. I'm in this big parking lot still. And I was able to kind of cut him off, you know. And I honked again. He looked up at me and I looked at him. His eyes got bright and he smiled. And I was like, sweet, you know. So he came to the truck and I'm like, where are you going? What are you doing? You know, he's like, well, this is where I'm going. I'm like, well, hell, do you want to get in the car for a second? He's like, okay. I mean, you know, humans, we need contact, even if it's just verbal connection. You know, everyone needs a friend. And I know my brother doesn't really have any friends. You know, my brother calls me his best friend, and I probably truly am my brother's best friend. And he is a best friend of mine. I mean, I have a handful of best friends, but I would absolutely consider my brother one of my best friends. Isn't that amazing? Considering our childhood history. I've come a long way. I truly have come a long way. I have a lot further to go in my healing process, but at least I've resolved a lot of things with my brother, you know. So tossed him in the car, you know, started heading home, and because I asked him, I said, I have some Lunchables at home, would you like them? You know, he's like, sure, I'll take them. And I said, cool. So, you know, gave us a minute to visit. You know, so I let him know, you know, with the red light happened, I looked him straight in the eyes. I said, you know, Raj, his name's Roger. I said, Roger, I really love you a lot. Just want to let you know, I love you a lot. He's like, I love you too. I said, okay, cool. You know, last time I seen him was 2 Fridays ago, and I was making videos for you, and he knocked on the door at 8:30 in the morning and completely disturbed my train of thought, you know, and I breathed fire down his throat. I was so mean, you know. I mean, not like over the top, totally cruel, but, you know, I was pissed off to be disturbed while I don't need to be disturbed, you know. So I know I probably hurt him a little bit. Oh, what did he want? He wanted to invite me out for lunch. You know, my birthday's the end of April this month, but it was the end of March. And he kind of got the months, you know, our other sister, 23 months younger than me, which is his full sister also, she's the end of March. So maybe he got confused a little bit on whose birthday was what. My brother's really good about sending a birthday card. You know, he's never really had much, but he always likes to remember our birthdays. He's a really good man like that, you know. So I felt bad for just being so fiery with him. In hindsight, after he left, I thought, man, I'm such a jerk. You know, he came just to offer me a sweet gift, and I breathed fire down his throat, you know. So, you know, on the way home to my house, we were able to visit. I at least got to clear the air with him and say, hey, man, I am so sorry that I was really bitchy, you know, when you knocked on the door. I'm making my videos, I'm working on this huge project, you know, when I'm in the zone, I can't be interrupted. And he totally got it. You know, he knows what I do, you know, and he knows I'm trying to get out, you know. I mean, everyone in my family knows what I do, even all my extended cousins and my aunts and uncles. because I've been arrested before. I made it on the national news, you know. Jay Leno did a piece on me once. Yeah. My mom and I got busted for doing sensual massage together. Everyone wanted to paint it like my mom was this master madam and that she was pimping me out. It's totally the opposite way. It wasn't like that at all. My mom learned about this industry from me. My mom learned everything about this industry from me. And if you find that report and you see her picture, you know, her hair's cut in a bob. She never wore her hair like that before. I took her to my hairdresser and I paid for her to get her hair done. Okay, I put her eyelashes on. I bought the negligee she was in. I bought the pasty she was wearing. I painted her fingernails seconds before that shoot. That was my photographer that I'd been using forever. I paid for the shoot. That was all me. You know, I was just trying to help my mom get some gas money. That's all. You know, the recession was happening and she could use a few bucks in her tank. She had a truck. It cost like $100 to fill the tank, you know. So anyways, yeah, Jay Leno did a spot on us. We made national news. And he used our story. And when it came time to show the picture of who it was, you know, it was Joan Rivers and her daughter. So there was the punch, right? There was the gag. Everybody got to laugh about that. So, anywho, my brother knows what I do. My whole family knows what I do. Even all my Mormon cousins. And I'm one of 30 grandchildren. There's a lot of us. I only really have a few cousins that I would consider really close, and those are the ones who live here in Southern California. But one has reached out. One of my Mormon cousins from Utah reached out not long ago, told me she liked my vibe on my Facebook page. You know, I have horses, so maybe I think she resonated with that. So that's cool. I totally appreciate that, Kim. I love you. I remember being kids together, so that was fun. And actually, another cousin stuck up for me in the last few weeks when I posted something about my mom, like needing to disown her for a little while because I just couldn't believe she didn't give me a heads up about dropping my brother off in my neighborhood. A heads up would have been very appreciated, and I probably wouldn't have resented her so much had I known, because my brother had knocked on my door. Maybe it was him. I'm going to assume it was him. Maybe it wasn't him. I have no idea. But in the middle of the night while I'm sleeping to get a knock on the door, I'm not cool with that whatsoever. You know, rattled my cage. I couldn't go back to sleep until after 2 in the morning. I have a workout class to get up at 4:45. That is crap, you know. Still made it to class. I'm a champion like that. Anywho, I'll just wrap this up really fast. So I took my brother to my house. I didn't, you know, I was so tempted to let him have a shower and stuff, but he didn't seem to, you know, he doesn't have the worst homeless person odor, though he does have one, you know. But there's definitely stinkier homeless people out there. So in our conversation in the car, he let me know that he's happy, which that was good for me to hear. I needed to know on some level, you know, and I asked him, how you doing? You know, he's like, well, I'm happy to not have a house right now. You know, he's like, I don't like the memories of the house that happened. You know, there's a lot of drugs in that town. He doesn't want to do drugs anymore. So he needed to get away from it, you know, and I could tell he was very sober today. And when he showed up at my house 2 weeks ago, I don't know. I don't know if he was sober that day. I think he was a little spun, to tell you the truth. But he looked free and clear today. There's a brightness in his eyes that you can see when he's totally sober. So that was there. And, you know, took him to the house, you know, got it. I went in the house really quick and I got the Lunchables. And I also put in a box of cereal. I know I'm into the Flintstones a lot, so I keep, when the kids come around, I have Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles in my house. That's what they get to have. No, I've never had any complaints. Everybody seems to like those. So I gave him the Cocoa Pebbles. I put in the milk that I just put in the freezer last night, but actually didn't even freeze yet. I mean, it was severely cold, but it wasn't icy. Maybe in the middle, I don't know. I just not opened. So put the milk in. Gave him a pudding cup. You know, I gave him a bowl, one of my plastic bowls, and I also gave him some, what are those called, Dixie cups? So just in case the bowl broke or whatever. I gave him a few of the Kool-Aid coolers that I have. I gave him the Lunchables. Almost threw in some licorice, but I think I remember him saying that candy makes his teeth hurt. So I took the licorice out, you know. I don't want to hurt his teeth. He doesn't have anywhere to brush his teeth. So after I got that little care package bag together, you know, hopped back in the truck and took him back. I said, where am I taking you? He's like, you're taking me to Rite Aid. That's just where we were. You know, there's a Rite Aid in the big parking lot of my gym. So took him back to Rite Aid. I let him know, you know, I totally appreciated his invitation to go out to lunch sometime, and if I had time today later or maybe tomorrow, I don't know. And I'm so busy doing my projects, but you got to eat too, you know. So there's a little Mexican joint not far that is crazy reasonable. You can get a fresh made taco for under $5. You can actually get one for like $2.50. So cheap. And then there's a never ending salsa bar, and they're never ending chips, you know. So you could eat really simple, like cheap, inexpensively if you go to that place. And it's all fresh. It's not like McDonald's food or Taco Bell food. I mean, they brew their black beans fresh every day, or whatever kind of stuff you want. So maybe my brother and I will get to have a meal today or tomorrow. If we do, I'll share that with you. Son of a bitch. That can't be him. I already barked at him for that. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to go answer the door. Thanks for being here with me today. Goddess of Awesome, bright blessings, and be well.